All right. Happy Tuesday, day 2 of a little talk about Sabbath. So we know it starts at creation and it moves a little further onward. We hear a bunch of stories. One of them that'll be familiar to you is when the Exodus is happening. The Israelites are fleeing from Egypt and they go into the wilderness and they say, we're hungry, we're thirsty, we're going to die, all that kind of stuff. And God says through Moses that the manna from heaven will come down, and 6 days you'll collect it. On the 7th day you will not. If you do, it'll rot. Right? So it goes a little further then. And then the next big piece of Sabbath, not that it's not all throughout the Old Testament, is from the Ten Commandments in Exodus 20. And it's one of the largest sections, right? Most of them are just, you shall not. Exodus 20 says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work. But the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. You shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male or your female slave, your livestock, or the alien resident in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but rested the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and consecrated it. And then it goes on to do the rest of those. But in Exodus, right, people really get tied to the Ten Commandments. I'm not one of those people. I think Jesus has a lot more to say than most of the Old Testament. So that being what it is, the Ten Commandments set up this idea that if you want to live faithfully in the congregation of God's chosen, which should be all of us, that to honor God is to take a day of rest, of leisure, to take a break from the hubbub of everyday things and just take a day to enjoy all that God has created, both in the created world, with each other, and to celebrate. There's a reason church, for at least us, is on Sunday. That was the Sabbath, as it were. Some churches believe, much like the Jews do, that the Sabbath starts differently. So some Jews do Friday night, some do Saturday morning. It's all a big kind of production between the different groups on what the official Sabbath is, right? But it permeates everything. And the idea is that to be faithful, to live a life filled with gratitude for all that God has done and continues to do in our life, you need to take time to give thanks. And the way that we're commanded to give thanks, at least in the Hebrew Bible, is to take a day of break away from the work, the daily grind, and to give thanks for God's creation, to worship and praise, to celebrate all of God's goodness in this world. And it comes in many different forms. I'm telling you now, if you're out golfing on a Sunday morning, God's not upset because you're out enjoying God's creation with people you care about. That's a way to celebrate the Sabbath. The same is true doing things with your family, having dinner, doing a hobby or project that you love to do. Yard work, for most people, probably not Sabbath. Important, but not Sabbath. Coming to worship can be a Sabbath thing, a way to commemorate and set your time apart and say, this time I'm setting aside to celebrate the goodness of God. Tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more about what I like to call micro Sabbath, because some of us, I'm not naming names, definitely not me or my wife, have a little trouble sometimes making specific time like a whole day in this modern world. So take some time today, give thanks for all that God has done and continues to do in your life, and we will talk again soon.